Day 10. Congratulations. As always, hydration, 15-minute timer. Before I hit the timer, yesterday we were reading the audio journaling key takeaways. Audio journaling exercises. Whenever you're faced with a challenging emotion, sadness, overwhelm, anger, or fear, record your feelings and thoughts over audio using a voice recorder or similar. Play back the voice note. How does it make you feel? Do you feel better after listening to your voice and your own emotions and thoughts? Does it make you feel lighter? Do you feel more enlightened? Or do you have a better idea of how to proceed with the possible dilemma or issue at hand? Repeat this audio journaling practice a few times if necessary. Pay attention to strong emotions. Let them take up space and honor them. Often we are tempted to ignore painful or difficult feelings, but this exercise is designed to make them easier to acknowledge and pay attention to. This is the start of the healing process, the release of those buried and stuck emotions. If helpful, further reflect on what you've heard. Have you changed your mind about how you felt? Do you now feel differently, better, or worse? Consolidate your reflections and learnings. If helpful, pull together a set of possible actions for next steps. Positive affirmations, key takeaways. Positive affirmations are statements used to reinforce positive benefits or attitudes about oneself, others, or the world. Consistently repeating them can shift one's mindset, help cultivate a more positive outlook, and enable us to face challenges successfully. Choose statements that resonate with you personally and that reflect the type of mindset or attitude you want to cultivate. Repeat the affirmations out loud daily or more frequently if necessary. Be patient and consistent, as the practice can take time to have a noticeable effect. Exercise. Create a set of affirmations that support your goals and mental well-being for the future. Here are a few to help you get started. I value my body and I am grateful for all that it does for me. I am stepping into the best version of myself every day. I am supported by a wonderful set of relationships. I deserve happiness, good health, and love. I am doing something that I love every day. Work out how often you plan to say them out loud. It could be once a day, perhaps in the morning or just before bedtime. You may want to increase it to twice daily. Aim to create a long-term regular practice. Consistency is key. Adjust the affirmations if you need to in response to changing circumstances. And here's a quiz. Matching reader personality to genre. 1. What type of characters do you identify with or aspire to be like? A. Characters who overcome adversity and demonstrate resilience. B. Characters who struggle with mental health issues and navigate their emotions. C. Characters who use humor to cope with difficult situations. D. Characters who find inner strength through their unique qualities or abilities. Question 2. What type of conflict resonates with you the most? A. Conflict related to trauma or difficult life experiences. B. Conflict related to personal growth and self-discovery. Or C. Conflict related to interpersonal relationships and communication. Or D. Conflict related to feeling like an outsider or struggling with identity. 3. What type of setting makes you feel safe and comfortable? A. Realistic, familiar settings that remind you of home or places you know well. B. Settings that reflect your cultural background or heritage. C. Settings that are playful and imaginative, but still grounded in reality. D. Settings that are completely different from your own experiences, allowing you to explore new perspectives and possibilities. Question 4. What type of themes resonate with you on a personal level? A. themes related to overcoming adversity and building resilience. B, themes related to mental health and self-care. C, themes related to the power of laughter and finding joy in life. D, themes related to finding inner strength and embracing unique qualities. Question 5. What type of emotions do you want to explore or process through reading? A, feelings of fear or anxiety related to past traumas or difficult experiences. B, feelings of uncertainty or confusion related to personal growth and change. C, feelings of joy or happiness related to interpersonal relationships and connection. Or D, feelings of empowerment or inspiration related to finding inner strength and embracing personal identity. Now, here's the results. If you got mostly A's, read memoir, autobiography, or self-help. Readers who identify with characters who have overcome adversity and demonstrate resilience may find inspiration and hope in reading memoirs, autobiographies, or self-help books. Mostly B's, young adult or contemporary fiction. Readers who relate to characters who struggle with mental health issues or personal growth may benefit from reading young adult or contemporary fiction that explores the complexities of the human experience. Mostly C's, humour. Readers who use humour to cope with difficult situations may find relief and comfort in reading humorous or light-hearted stories. Mostly D's, fantasy or science fiction. Readers who find inner strength through their unique qualities or abilities may enjoy exploring new perspectives and possibilities through reading fantasy or science fiction stories. Now, these are general guidelines, and readers may find therapeutic value in multiple genres or themes. This quiz can help provide a starting point for readers who are looking for books to read that may resonate with them on a personal level. Oh, Chapter 4, Tatiana. It is not death that a man should fear, but rather he should fear never beginning to live. And that was said by Marcus Aurelius in Meditations. So this is a client note on Tatiana. She wants to process loss and depression after being diagnosed with throat cancer. A memoir reader, she wants to read about the experience of other cancer sufferers. Alexei often used to tell me I was depressed. I barely left the house. Instead, I'd get into my pajamas, tuck myself into bed and read. 37-year-old Tatiana had been with her partner, Alexei, for 6 years when she came to see me. Tatiana had suffered from a persistent sore throat, fatigue, and a painful case of gastroesophageal reflux, which she'd put down to her smoking habit and for which she was also taking medication. By the time she was diagnosed, her cancer had reached stage 4. Things at home were tense. There'd been a strain on the relationship even before the cancer, and the news of the diagnosis further exacerbated the discontent that Tatiana was already experiencing. Tatiana and Alexei had met at work. They were both IT consultants at a prestigious software company in London. The early stages of the relationship had been exciting, but with time, the spark between them had begun to flicker. Although marriage had been discussed more than once, neither Tatiana nor Alexei had pursued it. The routine and monotony of the relationship had overshadowed the desire to move to the next stage, and they now felt that they had reached a crossroad where they would have to seriously consider the future of their relationship. Should they stay together? It was a question that lingered in both of their minds, although it was not Tatiana's main focus given her recent diagnosis. Her throat cancer, esophageal cancer to be precise, was aggressive. The doctors had told Tatiana that she only had up to a year left to live, and she was in complete disbelief. The whole situation felt surreal. She had never even considered that at 37, she could be so close to the end of her life. Soon, the disbelief gave way to anger. Tatiana wanted answers. She wanted to know why this was happening to her. Faced with a terminal diagnosis, Tatiana had already started grieving the loss of her own life, navigating the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. She needed something to save her from the dark clouds engulfing her, something that would put an end to the 5 a.m. panic attacks she'd been experiencing. Part of her wanted to connect with other cancer sufferers. She wanted to ask them questions, but to connect with others would be to accept her diagnosis, and she wasn't quite ready to do that. Instead, Tatiana wanted to better understand her position through art, specifically literature, which is why she came to see me. Since you enjoy reading memoirs, how about a memoir? It might feel safer, less intense, and perhaps might even validate some of your anxieties and concerns, I suggested. That actually sounds great. I really need something that will help me make sense of everything that's going on at the moment, Tatiana agreed. I could hear the hoarseness in her voice as she spoke. She cleared her throat. Knowing that I haven't got much longer to live is terrifying, and it's changed everything. I don't know what I should be doing anymore. I need to understand how other people got through this, how they managed to cope. I just can't help but feel so sad and empty. Tatiana's feelings were normal. It's common for cancer patients to seek out others who might be able to provide answers through their own lived experience. Can you talk to Alexi about it? What are his thoughts? I asked, wanting to learn a little more about the relationship at home and the impact this significant news was having. Yes and no, Tatiana hesitated, and then she continued. He has such a busy day job, and he's been teaching chess online in the evenings to try and save more money. I was a little bit concerned by this answer. Do you guys spend time talking to each other about your days? Tatiana responded reluctantly. We don't really spend much time talking. We just take each day as it comes. It's like we are housemates, each with our own lives. I felt a deep wave of sadness wash over me. It was becoming clear that something was not quite right. Tatiana continued, we might as well not be in an intimate relationship. And now with the cancer, I don't really know where things will land. I don't think he even notices me anymore. You know, whether I look nice in something or if I've had a haircut or made any extra effort. The loneliness in Tatiana's voice, coupled with the very painful cancer diagnosis, alarmed me. Do you tell him how you feel? I asked gently. No, of course not. We've been together for so long. I'm sure he's sensed how I feel, but he just isn't that bothered. I wasn't sure if that was entirely true and wondered whether Alexi just didn't know how to demonstrate that he cared. Tatiana lowered her big brown eyes, accentuating the slight wrinkles on her forehead. She appeared to have aged beyond her years. She had withdrawn and seemed to have mentally shifted into her own world. I had to bring her back to the present moment. Tell me about your childhood, Tatiana. Where did you grow up? What was your relationship with your parents like? Oh, I grew up in St. Petersburg with my grandparents. My father died when my sister and I were very young. I didn't really know him, and my mother and I haven't really spoken about it. There are some photos of us all together as a family of 4, and we look happy. When I was 5 and my sister 3, my mother moved to London. She'd met someone British, so she decided to get a job here as a bookkeeper, and my sister and I joined her when we came to the UK for university. I got this job and I ended up staying, and then, of course, I met Alexi, and it made sense to just be here. I could see from her resigned posture that she accepted that this is how things were and how they would continue to be. She felt like an observer in her own life, and this had led to a feeling of resigned powerlessness that seemed to be serving her by keeping her relationship going and allowing things to remain as they were, stable. She seemed unwilling to rock the boat for fear of hitting rock bottom. This was her defense mechanism, and it had kept her afloat until her cancer diagnosis. I knew that not having her mother around during her formative years must have been extremely difficult for Tatiana. Absent parents can trigger a sense of abandonment that can linger for years and play havoc in our future relationships. Tatiana had chosen Alexei, someone who was emotionally unavailable to her in many ways, and this mirrored her early relationship with her mother. In life, we tend to believe we deserve what we've always had. To alter these unhelpful and often harmful beliefs, we can turn to forms of therapy, including bibliotherapy. And there we go. That is day 10 done of reading 15 minutes every single day from Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading by Bijal Shah. Go and order the book, read along with me. It makes a complete difference when you read and you're also hearing it. You tend to pick up many more things. Congratulations to those who have been reading along. 10 days of 15 minutes is beginning to form your habit. Congratulations. See you tomorrow.